Good morning, Kilbourne. This is your WKHS news for Friday, January 31st, 2020.
This week, we'll be talking about whether or not we'll have World War III.
The Simpsons predictions always coming true.
And we test students and staff about Kilbourne knowledge.
Your WKHS news starts now.
Audio Jungle.
Good morning, Kilbourne. I'm Brinley Pinchinat.
And I'm Maya Harris.
After the assassination in Iran, people are wondering what's going to happen next. Ideas have been thrown out, such as World War III.
Christian and Duncan tell us about more possibilities.
On January 4th, President Donald Trump ordered a military drone strike. This strike killed Iranian General Soleimani and increased existing tensions between U.S. and Iran. Since the attack, speculations about war, cyber attacks, and other means retaliation have swirled around in the media. We interviewed Mr. Norris, IT expert, for more background on the situation and possible threats that could come up in the near future. What kind of cyber attacks could Iran do in the future?
Well, of course, which we mentioned is elections is always on people's mind because it's coming up this year. But actually, the better targets for them are utilities, power grids, infrastructure type targets. Poking at weaknesses in the private industry, because if they're not putting money into beefing up their protections on their computer side, they're highly vulnerable to being affected, and that therefore affects Americans. Like imagine losing your power for days. And the scramble to repair it. So they have many means they can attack financial institutions, deny people their ability to get to their money, and things like that. Usually always temporary, but it does cause pain, and then it becomes a problem, and that's the kind of thing they're looking for to create that attention to themselves.
What are your opinions on Donald Trump's actions of taking out General Soleimani?
I agree with his actions of taking out General Soleimani. General Soleimani had a lot of American blood on his hands.
What is the background between the U.S. and Iran cyber war?
Well, it started in 2009 during the Green Revolution, where a U.S.-based group was advocating for the revolution, and an Iranian group within the country took down their site. After that, Iran started ramping up their uranium enrichment production. So in 2010, in conjunction, unconfirmed, working with Israel, we were able to get a Stuxnet virus into one of their centrifuges, which spun up their reactors and actually destroyed their uranium enrichment infrastructure. And that was really the outbreak of the cybersecurity war. After that, Iran hit three major banks between 2011 and 2013 by denial of service attacks, basically costing J.P. Morgan, Capital One, and one other bank millions of dollars of lost revenue. And then once again in 2018, the city of Atlanta was brought down by a ransomware. Now, we know this because of a federal indictment of 7 Iranian actors who perpetrated this action. And so they're very capable of it, and it's also more of a discrete kind of attack.
Tensions between the U.S. and Iran are still ongoing. This has been Christian Wesley and Duncan Self, your WKHS News.
The television show The Simpsons seem to have predicted many things that have come true.
Yeah, haven't they predicted the three-eyed fish and Trump becoming president?
Yeah, Brooke and Julia tell us about future predictions.
The popular cartoon The Simpsons has predicted quite a few big events years before they even happened. Students and staff talked about what they think of the craziest predictions.
So I think The Simpsons predicting the future makes sense because they've always been a cutting-edge type of program, even for a cartoon. I'm not surprised. They're very smart as far as their satire, and they've been around for so long now that it's, makes sense that some of the things that they did, especially in the early 90s and mid 90s, are now here, like smartwatches and video phones.
I think it's pretty crazy that The Simpsons has predicted so much stuff.
I would think the craziest thing that they predicted was somewhat related to our elections, like with, tampering of our ballot boxes, Donald Trump being president. I think there was a really crazy one that they did with Homer writing some complicated formula on the chalkboard, and it ended up being proven. So I think that's actually pretty crazy as well.
The Trump presidency, but also more recently, Disney acquiring Fox. They predicted that like multiple years before it happened. So.
I'm hoping that they predict that we solve climate change next. I get kind of scared though, because they had that movie where they put the dome over Springfield, and I worry that the world might put a dome over us.
They'll probably end up predicting the world ending or something like that due to climate change. Greta Thunberg, really, she need to get on that.
From the Trump presidency, a scientific formula, and Disney buying Fox, The Simpsons has predicted a lot of events that seem to be more than just a coincidence. What do you think they will predict next? Brooke and Julia Taylor, WKHS News.
It's time for a game.
Leslie and Tommy test students and staff about their Kilborn knowledge.
All right, first question. What is our school mascot's name?
Wolf. Lobo. Oh.
Silent.
Good golly. Name. I went too soon.
Question 2. What is our school dog's full name? That would be Lexi Lexington.
Oh, jeez.
Question 3. What is our stadium called?
Ron Hopper Memorial Stadium.
1 point for Mr. Vincent. When was our school opened?
1991.
What is the fourth planet of our solar system?
Golly. I phone a friend, Mr. Jordan.
The answer is Mars. What was the last time Boys Lacrosse won a state title?
That would be 2017.
Wrong.
2016.
Yes.
Yeah, cats. I helped you.
What is our address?
1499 Hard Road.
Who is the 5th president of the United States?
That would be Adams.
Wrong.
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh.
I have no idea.
Who are 2 people our school is named after?
Oh, that would be James Kilborn.
And second person.
Oh, Thomas Withington. Oh, I put him in our school. Okay, all right.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Browns.
Yes.
Oh, that was a dream. That was a dream. That was a dream. All right.
How do you feel about the win?
It always feels good to win, but kind of nerve-wracking, I'll have to admit. But my opponent, Tyler Katz, he's one smart cat.
I thought I could have known more about our school. You know, some of the history, I didn't really have that knowledge, but we're going to study and be ready for the next one.
This has been your WKHS News. Be sure to come out to the girls' basketball game as they take on Scioto for their Coaches vs. Cancer game. The theme is a pink out.
The swim team also competes at 6 at Watterson. The dive team competes at Thomas. Thanks for watching. Have a fun and safe week in Kilborn.